I've never met someone who said, I like it so much when people lie to me. Please, lie to me. Tell me a lie. I never met anyone like this. Nobody likes lies. Lies can cause irreparable damage, can lead to death, injustices. Lies are something literally diabolical. And one of the motivations for lies is fear. And God speaks about this in the book of Isaiah 57. And he says like this, and of whom have you been afraid or feared that you have lied? Pay attention. Of whom have you been afraid or feared that you have lied, and not remember me, nor taken it to your heart? Which means, here we understand two things. First, that lies, one of the sources of lies is fear. It's not the only source, because people lie as they have a bad character. Every bad character problem is a spiritual problem. But some lies are intentional, are not motivated by fear because they want to take advantage of others. It's another level, higher level of iniquity. But I want to speak about a basic source of lies, which is the first source of lies that we used, and we used since we were a child, is in us. When you see a child lying, they went and broke a vase, and the father or the mother comes and asks, did you break this vase? And they say, at the age of 3, who barely speaks properly, will nod their heads and say, no, I didn't do it. They will lie, they will tell a lie. Motivated by what? By fear, being afraid of dread, because the father, the mother showed a seriousness on that action, and the child being afraid, they lied, they denied. In other words, fear is the first source of lies that the human being carries within them. The same source that Adam and Eve felt when God, strolling by the garden after they sinned, they hid because they were afraid of the Lord. And they made up a story when God asked, did you touch the tree that I told you to not touch? And in that moment, both tried not to take the blame. Why? Fear. So here we understand the fear, the dread, it's a source of lies. And the second thing is, when God says, and not remember me, not taking it to your heart, which means your fear on suffering any retaliation, was this fear greater than I? Is your fear greater than I? What you fear is greater than I? You took me out of your heart and you put fear in a way that you not even remember me. And you had no fear to lie and to hurt me with this lie. In other words, when the person does not fear God, but fears the consequences of the truth, then they use lies, and lies become their own God. Or even worse, it becomes their own father, which is the devil. It's what Jesus said when you see the debate he had with the Jews. He said that in John 8:44, you are of your father the devil. Your father is the devil. Because they were saying, my father is Abraham, we are Abraham's descendant, and etc. And Jesus being straightforward, saying, you are of your father the devil, and the desires of your father you want to do. He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, he speaks from his own resources. which means lies is the nature of the devil. Lies come from the nature of the devil. When he speaks a lie, he speaks from his own resources, for he is a liar and the father of it. So when the person chooses to lie, instead of saying the truth, they are choosing for themselves a God, the father of lies. They are rejecting the father of truth, which is God, and putting another God in his place, Satan himself, who is the father of lies. Of course, people daily don't think about the seriousness of what they're doing. They even were able to classify lies. There is the little lies, the white lies, the lies with no consequences, social lies. Of course, you're not gonna get it wrong, what I'm saying, with the sincerity that is unnecessary. What is the unnecessary sincerity? Your friend went and changed their hair, they dyed the hair, and to you, you didn't think it was nice, and they come and ask you. You're not gonna tell them, it's horrible, you're ridiculous. You're not gonna say that. Why? What for? You're gonna say, listen, if you liked, that's what matters. Why are you asking me? If you liked, it's what matters. Friend, did you like it? So it's wonderful. Don't worry about anyone else. And the worst part of it is when we say that, they come and say, oh, so you didn't like, and then the problem happens. But you need to have social abilities. It's not for you to come in the face of people and say you are this or that. It's not to this level. This is not a truth that you need to keep on telling people all the time. Jesus had many truths, but he'll come to the disciples sometimes and say, listen, I have a lot of things to tell you, but you cannot bear. So there are things you don't need to tell people because they won't be able to bear it. You need to have conscience. What I'm talking about here is about character. What God is speaking here is about this exchange of God that you do. Sometimes without realizing it, you exchange the God you say you believe, which is the God of the truth, the way, the truth, and the life. You exchange him for the devil, who is the father of lies. When you are more afraid of the truth than you are of lying. You should be more afraid of lying than saying the truth. This is the truth, the reality. When you fear God, when you remember God, and you have him in your heart, as he's saying here, so you are afraid of lying more than speaking the truth. When you say the truth, there might be a consequence to you, but at least you have peace with God. You know, I'm by God's side. He'll be with me through the consequences of this. But when you lie, you can set yourself free temporarily, but you know that you allied yourself with the devil. The moment you said the lie, you allied yourself with the father of lies. Then what do you think will happen to you? What do you think will happen to you when you use the weapons from the devil? What do you think will happen? So use your intelligence. The truth sets free. It protects. It shields us. It connects us to God. The truth puts the devil under our feet, but the lies do the opposite of all that. So, is your fear greater of lying or telling the truth?
Did you like this? Would you like to hear it again? Listen to it as many times as you need until this content becomes part of you. Don't forget to leave your like, comment, and share. See you next time.